Good morning. Today, I'm going to talk about something I noticed quite recently. So, I've been on a trip, a quick trip down south. I'm in Auckland right now, and so I took a trip this weekend. I pre-recorded a few videos. The last couple of videos were pre-recorded, and so it's been a couple days since I've recorded one of these, and I wanted to just quickly talk about the things that I saw down south when I was on this trip to see my family. And so I'm part of a quite of a mixed like family. It's like part of my family is on my mother's side. There's most of it is French. And on my father's side, there's a couple different people, which include British and Maori, which are the people originally from New Zealand. And so I went down south and I spent some time with my family just to make sure that the bonds are firm, because I think family is truly something that matters more and that is truly important, that everybody should put more into perspective in their own life and care more about. Because you're born in your family. Now, if you're lucky enough, you have a great family. If you're not so lucky, you might have a few bad apples or bad people, but then in that case you just do your best, and yeah, you live your life to the fullest and you create your own family. So I went down south, and the number one thing I noticed was that leading by example makes people respect you more. For example, I take care of myself. I make sure that I'm well groomed, well physically in shape, taken care of, working on my purpose so that I can help people and I can provide for my friends and family. So just by the simple fact that I do that, all of the people around me treat me differently. Like if I dress good, if I show up sharp, if I show up and I actually put in the work. Like for instance, we went to the family cemetery, and we mowed the lawns and we cleaned up everything, and we used like Wheaties and stuff like that, just to make sure that everything on the cemetery was like super clean and super well taken care of. Well, basically, me and like us and a group of like 10 people or so, for the whole morning, we basically just went over all the cemetery. We cleaned up everything, repositioned the decorations. The cemetery was fucking massive. And after that, we had a meal with the rest of the family, and we had a great time. So that was definitely like a good thing that I'm pretty happy to have like actually gone there, because like it only happens like maybe like twice a year, I think. So I felt like even though I'm a pretty busy individual, I had to make a bit of time to go see my family and actually like be a part of the environment, because they're gonna remember that. They're gonna remember the fact that I decided to put some time. Everybody knows that everybody's busy, everybody has work to do, everybody has their own life, but they were extremely grateful for everybody who showed up by the simple fact that they were there. That's it. Like that's what you need to do. Like you just need to show up. If you show up for people and you lead by example. There were like a lot more people that were supposed to be there, and they were not, because they said they had X, Y, and Z excuse to not be there. And so it just changes everything when you're there, when you actually show up, when you actually put in the effort. You lead by example. If you lead by example, others will follow in your footsteps. So I was down there and I thought to myself, if I can be the best example and set the tone for the people around me, and they look at me and they see that I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm taking care of myself, I don't eat a bunch of shit, I make sure that my time is well worth invested into theirs, into the family situation, then more people are gonna do the same thing. Because like, if they can see that I'm someone worth their time and worth their energy just by the simple fact that I did something to help everybody there, then they will be more likely to respect me and to share that feeling of belonging as well. Because like, we all humans technically are part of the same family. This is why it's so easy to make friends anywhere you go. But besides the point, I think everybody should take some time to spend with their family and actually invest. Like, even if it's like a couple hours per week, if you live a long ways away from your family, I think you should take a trip to see them and organize something that you can all do together and all spend some time, even if it's not necessarily just going to a restaurant or like sitting down at a table and having a chat or that kind of stuff. It matters. Even if you're not investing financially and you don't have that much to financially invest to help them out, well, probably the simple fact that you're there shows that you care. The power of caring is one of the most like powerful things that you can give to someone. You can give to someone the fact that you care about them anywhere, like if it's in just like family, relationships, friendships, literally any type of relationship, any type of work, any type of anything. People, if you show that you care, they will reciprocate that feeling. So I do heavily suggest that you invest more time into your family and just spending a little bit more time with them, because not everybody will be there forever. Like, I went on the cemetery. There was a bunch of different people working there, and there were people that were like 60 or above, and they were still working there. And there were people that were like me, like young, like in their 20s, 30s, working there as well. It's like, youngest would be probably me, and then from there upwards of that would be like 60 or 70. So if you can just show them that you care, it's gonna make everybody remember you. It's gonna make everybody care about you. It's gonna make you more respected. It's gonna make you belong to an actual group that actually cares. And it doesn't matter if you don't want your life to look like theirs. The simple fact that you're part of that environment, if you're like on the path of like improving yourself to becoming like a really valuable person in your group, like self-improving, like health, business-wise, like career-wise, money-wise, all that sort of stuff. If you show up in somebody's environment and they see that you are like getting better in all of these realms, they're gonna be like, holy shit, like I'm really inspired by you. And they might start doing stuff. They might stop that addiction of theirs. They might stop doing a bunch of garbage on the side. They might stop eating like shit. They might stop doing anything that's negative. They might stop smoking. They might start drinking more water, that kind of stuff. If you just explain why you do what you do and what it is you do and how you do it, people will actually take some time to actually listen to you. Because it feels like you've got your shit in order, if that makes sense. So the more you have your shit in order, the more people get inspired by you and they want to aspire to do the same. So I would definitely suggest, if you have your shit in order, to just not necessarily spend all of your time with them, but like spend a little bit of time. Like spend a little bit of time every week, maybe month, at least once a year, to see them, to talk with them, to eat with them, to have a good time, and just remember where it is you come from. Not that many people actually take the time to remember or to know where they come from. Where do their ancestors come from? Like, I know that all of my family in Europe, I don't know, like past my grandparents, I don't even know who they were, the people before that. And most of them probably can't even tell me. So, but on the other hand, all the people here in New Zealand on the Maori side of things, they all remember. We have like all of our ancestors passed, like, I think if I remember correctly, I'm the 29th generation of our family. And that's a pretty fucking powerful thing to know, when you know that there have been so many people before you, that it's thanks to them that you're here on this earth and actually doing stuff. It's actually pretty motivating. Like, internal motivation wise, I would say that's one of the most powerful things that I have at my disposal. Just knowing like where I'm from, my roots, my people, and it just makes me understand, like, and makes it easier for me to have a purpose and to choose something and to say, I'm gonna work on this so that I can give back to everybody, I can help everybody, I can support everybody, I can teach the people that come after me. When I get family of my own, like if I have kids, if I have nephews, cousins, all that kind of stuff in the family, I'm gonna be able to teach them and to tell them like my stories, my experiences, what I've learned, and so that they can have a better life as well, and they can continue the legacy. That's primarily what I care about, and what most people care about. Like, when you actually think about it, back in the day, even like if it's a couple hundred years ago, even like 100 years ago, people usually only cared about their family. They only cared about their legacy and what they could provide for their family, and that's pretty much it. And today, it's way more focused on the selfish, like me, I. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, because the problem is, people used to behave and they used to act based on their family. Like, for instance, people used to get married not in the sole intent of finding love or finding a romantic relationship, but marrying because of the family's interests. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I don't think doing something for the sake of someone else is necessarily a bad thing. Like, there's a lot of people that say like, oh yeah, you should have the power of decision, the power of choice, the power of all this and that. And then it's like, yeah, but a lot of people don't deserve that power. A lot of people don't deserve the power of choice, because they live mediocre shit lives and they think they should have the power of choice. They shouldn't. I don't think everybody should have the power of choice, because some people's lives are simply less valuable, less important, and less beneficial to the people around them. And so I think your level of power, your level of decision, or your amount of control over your own life should be dictated by the people around you, because some people have simply earned that and you haven't. Like, if you don't do your best every day to have the people around you, and you don't like actually put yourself together in a way that people actually remember you, like, oh yeah, he was extremely helpful, he taught me a lot of stuff, he inspired me to become a great person. I don't think you should have control over anything you have to do, because you'll end up doing selfish decisions, taking selfish decisions to actually have fun or be happy or have a good time, and then you'll end up drinking yourself into a coma, or getting addicted to whatever, or some fucking bullshit. And I think there's a huge amount of accountability and power that can be found within family and the family unit if you have a good, strong one. If you don't have one, I would suggest working on that and finding, even if it's a friend group that you can belong to, and then you can develop the bonds like more in depth. Create a group, create a community. I remember this guy was talking about on YouTube, I was listening to him, and he was talking about the fact that he was raised by a single mother, and all of his other brothers, most of them were actually just junkies and people that he couldn't really associate with, because they were all doing like crime and fucking shit acts. So, including his father. So he was raised with the intent of building a community, and that's what he did, because he wanted to create something that he was a part of and he could give back to, because the people around him would just simply not listen and not be the kind of people he wanted to be around. So yeah, so I think there's a lot of power and motivation that can be extracted from spending time with family and creating like stronger bonds, and like being a part of a community that actually makes you proud. Going back to when I went down to see my family, I spent some time with them, and I'm actually pretty grateful for the fact that I have those people that I can go to and I can talk to and everything. Now, they might not necessarily have their shit in order as much as I do, but that's fine. Like everybody's learned life through their own means and didn't necessarily have access to what I have access to today. So everybody that's older than me and doesn't necessarily have their life in order, that's fine. Like, you didn't listen to the same people I listened to. You didn't take advice from the same people I took advice from. You didn't put into action yourself. You didn't like actually get stuff done as much as I did in a based on that advice you got. Like it that's completely fine. Like, I'm not here to brag or to boast or to say like, oh yeah, I had it way better than you guys do. No, I think everybody should take action based on what you know is possible today. And so if you know that some other people are super in shape, or like super proud of who they are, or like have like a really good lifestyle, or really like they're really like a big charismatic person, like in your environment, they're leading by example, they have this massive career or business, they're making a lot of money in a good way, providing value to other people. If you can attach yourself to those people, I would heavily recommend it, and I would take action today. So like, for instance, I know like most of my family, a lot of them aren't necessarily healthy. A lot of them are like super overweight, and that's simply because they've succumbed to modern society's current problems, which are connected to health and the food that you eat at the supermarket that you go get. Like, I don't understand why people that are not from Europe eat bread. Like, you'd never had bread before the Europeans got here. Why the fuck are you eating it? Like, everybody, I think what's the most important thing is that everybody should be educated on what it is your ancestors, your descendancy, your family tree. I think everybody should register that and educate themselves on like where they come from, so that way they know exactly. You can very easily do this. You can go get a DNA test and know exactly where your ancestors come from, and that way you can study the place you come from, and then you can look it up online and you can say, what did the people in this place used to eat for the past 1,000 years? Or you can ask GPT, probably would go much faster. And you will be able to pinpoint a diet that is actually programmed, and through thousands of years of evolution, your family line has been used to eating. Like, for instance, my genetics are a bit fucked up because I've got 50% French, 25% British, and then 25% Maori. So, of course, my diet isn't necessarily going to be the most balanced thing in the universe. But I know there's a few things that you prefer and you should prefer to focus on based on your diet so that you don't fucking end up fat. You know, because take the Maori, for example, the original people from New Zealand before the Europeans came here. They used to eat fish, bird, vegetables, and maybe a few things that you would find in the wilderness. That's pretty much it. They did not used to grow crops that much in terms of like cereal, wheat. They didn't use rice. They didn't use all of that fucking garbage, bread, all the processed shit that's in the supermarket. You didn't used to eat that. All the oil, all of that. Nobody used to eat that like over a couple hundred years ago. So of course you're gonna end up fat because you can't fucking digest it. Alcohol, same thing, bruv. Like, all the people here, they drink alcohol and can't digest it, so they just end up fucking fat. They just like boom, like it's truly sad to see that people don't actually get educated and don't understand that it's actually like they know some things are bad, but they would rather ignore it rather than get educated and then force themselves to learn what is actually important. So I think realistically we have two different paths to take. Either we get somebody that just tells everybody, you need to do this and you need to obey me because I know better than you do, so that way you don't have to think about it and you don't have to study it. Or we need to educate everybody on what is good nutrition, what is your family ancestry, where do you come from, and what should you eat, what should you do on a regular basis, so that you can provide more value to the people around you. But in that case, you would give everybody the power of decision. But everybody would need to be responsible if we were to do that. So if nobody was responsible and nobody was accountable, then you would need to have that one person that tells everybody what to do, because they would need to listen for their own fucking benefit. I helped one of my family members recently, 30 years plus not being in the gym or exercising, and so he was fat, overweight, fucking not healthy, you know the drill. So I helped him out, and at first he didn't really want to do anything. He didn't want to go into the gym. He said his own words were, it feels like a torture chamber going to the gym. I don't want to go there. And I said, okay, well, go do something else then. Like, go ride a bike, go swim, go, I don't fucking know, go outside. Like, and he said, yeah, okay. And he started doing a bit of that. And then the more he did it, the more he was like, oh, actually, I would prefer you tell me what to do so that I don't have to think about it. So I told him, okay, we're going to the gym, you can come with me. And so I showed him exactly what to do. And so he doesn't have to think about it anymore because I taught him how to do it. He doesn't have to think how to have perfect form, or how to make sure everything's like clean, or to make sure everything is used properly, or what kind of nutrition you have to have. Like, he comes home and he eats food with me. I prepare the food, so he doesn't have to think about that anymore. So, and then if he wants to know, like, he can ask me and I can tell him, because I've educated myself on everything, so I know what to do and how to do it properly. So I do understand the benefit of having like one person. Like, for instance, me, I'm probably the most educated person in terms of health in my entire like extended like current family. I don't know anybody that is like super healthy as much as I am in terms of like good nutrition, a healthy dose of exercise every day, getting some sunlight, hydrating properly, nobody kind of does that anymore. Like every single time I go to another family member's home, they say like, "Oh, do you want a beer?" And I said, "No, I don't drink." And they said, "Oh, good on you." And I'm like, what? Like, you mean good on you? Why are you drinking then? If it's so good to not drink, why are you drinking? What do you mean? Like, oh, do you want to smoke? No, I don't smoke. Oh, good on you. It's like, what the fuck? What do you mean, bro? Like, it's not that hard to just not do it. If you know it's not good for you, just don't do it. If you understand it's bad, why do you get so angry and just say like, why the fuck am I taking alcohol? Why the fuck am I smoking? I don't want to do that anymore. I know it's bad for me. I shouldn't do it. And then just get so angry that you just quit. It's not that hard. And if you're addicted to like hard drugs, then fucking get some people to help you, I guess. Because like, I've never been addicted to drugs. I can't really fucking talk about that. I just know it's bad, so I don't do them. That's it. Simple. I keep it simple. I keep it really, really fucking simple. So, what time is it? It's 8:45, and the sun's really fucking killing me right now. Because the UVs are fucking strong as fucking New Zealand because there is no ozone layer. So I'm basically getting burnt right now for the sake of recording you guys this video. So who cares? So I think everybody should take some time to really appreciate the people they're connected to, their family, their ancestors. Just remember themselves, like who they are. If you can, I would heavily invest into either a DNA test or figuring out with your family, sitting down with them, with your parents, your grandparents, your grandparents, and sit down with them and ask them like stories and like understand like where you come from and like the ancestors that came before you, so that you can understand and like you can use that as a source of like energy and power and be like, this is who I am, this is who I'm from, this is where I am going to give back to. And then just do that more, because there's a lot of fucking power and energy that can be extracted from where you're from. Like, I know people before me were like actual warriors that would go out into the wilderness, hunt for food, and then fight other tribes, and then just fucking defend the people they loved. And that is extremely motivating. That is extremely uplifting and motivational and inspiring. So I would do some research, I would take some time, and everybody that listens to these videos, I would prefer you take action on this and you don't just listen to me rant for 30 minutes. So that way you get out a piece of advice from this that you can use for your own life, and then you can benefit the lives of others around you. I would heavily prefer if you did that. If you don't do that, that's your choice, that's your life, you live your own life, you make your own decisions. I can't force the horse to drink, but I can lead him to the water. So yeah, I do heavily and like suggest that is super important. And then leading by example, just like have the best life possible around you. Like if people like are around you and having a shit lifestyle and they say like, oh, I feel like shit, and you say like, oh, have you considered exercising daily? And they say like, oh no, and then you can tell them like, hey, I've been exercising daily. I've noticed that the benefits are X, Y, and Z. I feel great. I have higher levels of energy. I don't like take up a bunch of space. I don't feel like tired all the time. I'm less at risk to get diabetes. I've got a bunch of family members that have diabetes, which is fucking sad. And my health is better. I don't have to go to the doctor every month. And I don't have to care about my health as much because I'm in a level of maintenance, constant level of maintenance. So I'm never letting anything go. And yeah, I'm just doing my best as possible so that I can provide value and I can be useful to the people around me. Like, for instance, my great aunt, she had a broken wrist. And so she said like, oh, can you please help me carry these heavy things? And so since I'm healthy and fit and in form, like, and I'm a strong, healthy young man, I can help her do that kind of stuff. I can carry the heavy things. I can do favors. I can help out, you know? And I think helping out and caring about each other is like the best thing that you guys can do for each other in a family unit. Even if you don't agree on like religion or politics or any of that kind of shit, just don't care about that. Just make sure the people's lives around you are better by the simple fact that you are there inspiring them, giving them your energy, becoming that beacon of light that everybody around you benefits from. Make sure you are the beacon of light in your family's lives, and everybody will just be better off. They'll feel better around you. They'll want to gravitate and talk more to you because they know that you are valuable. So there you have it. I appreciate anybody sticking to the end of the video, watching through the entire thing. And I wish you guys have a great day. It's a beautiful day. The sun's shining. Remember, the sun will always rise tomorrow. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'm happy to answer any of you guys' questions. If you have any, if you want me to give you some advice on something, feel free to comment that. And I'll happily give you my advice. Raw, honest, no lies, no sugarcoating. And yeah, let's keep doing it. Let's keep working. And have a great day. I'll see you around.